Alright, so today we're going to be talking about parallel lines, transversals, and angle sums. We all should know what parallel lines are, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Transversal. Does anybody know what a transversal is? Okay, we're going to be learning about that today. Angle sums, those are pretty easy. How many degrees does a triangle have in it total? 180. And you got to find the missing 1 or 2. Okay? So that's what angle sums are. But we're first going to look at your book. There on page 58, there's a diagram there. It has a set of parallel lines, M and N. Everybody see M and N. Okay, and then there's a diagonal line called T going through them. That line is called the transversal because it goes through both parallel lines. Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Below that picture, it says angles 1, 3, 5, and 7 are congruent. And angle 2, 4, 6, and 8 are congruent. Everyone good? So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about parallel lines and transversals and understand why those 4 angles are congruent, 1, 3, 5, and 7, and why 2, 4, 6, and 8 are congruent. We're going to understand that better. Then there's another diagram on that page, a triangle ABC, and it just says that the sum of the angles are 180. So if you added them up, it would equal 180. Everyone good there? Okay, so most of our time is going to be spent with the parallel lines and transversals, and we're going to use that handout that I gave you guys. So we're going to start on there. We're going to start verbally because the iPad is having issues. Okay, and so you need to listen and follow along. Okay, as we do this, there's going to be stuff on the television and stuff up on the board. Okay, so make sure you're paying attention. All of those vocabulary we're going to get today. That's a lot of new vocabulary. I want to make sure that you guys get them and get them well. So that's why you have a handout today. We're going to start off by looking at the diagram on that page, okay, and filling in those blanks. So in the diagram, A and B are what? Matthew?
Parallel.
Parallel. So in the diagram, A and B are parallel. Please spell it correctly. It's on that paper. It's on your book. It's on the board. Please spell correctly. Okay? At the very least, we're going to spell correctly. In 8th grade, you guys should want to spell your words right. Okay? If you look at that diagram by angle 1, okay, look up there by angle 1. Do you guys see that little arrow on that line? And if you look down on line B, there's another little arrow down there. Those 2 arrows are symbols kind of like our angle marks and our tick marks. Those 2 arrows mean that those 2 lines are parallel. Everyone good with that? Because they both have 1 arrow, those 2 lines are parallel. Okay? So because those 2 lines are parallel, it means, so this is the second line, this means the lines, you're writing, will remain the same distance apart forever. Okay, so you want to make sure that you know what parallel lines mean, okay? And then in that third part it says you can use a parallel symbol to say the same thing. Okay, so instead of writing out A is parallel to B, you could write this. Okay, so you have the A, 2 lines that are parallel, and B, so this says A is parallel to B. So this is what you would write on that third line for the blank. Okay? And then in the 4th line, it says line C is called a transversal. Please spell it correctly, it's on your paper. Because it goes through both parallel lines. Okay, and we're going to continue on with the complementary angles, okay? So, with the complementary angles, what do you guys remember about complementary angles? This is something you guys learned before. You guys remember anything about complementary angles? They equal so many degrees. Okay. So I'll give it to you. Complementary angles are angles that add to 90 degrees. Okay? And every time we talk about a new type of angle, we're going to draw a picture and write some examples. So on the picture, okay, this is what I want you to draw for this picture. These three angles make this one right angle. So this is your picture for complementary angles. Grab one of those papers. That's what we're doing. Okay? All right. And so for the example, this is the only example that's going to be different and the picture that's going to be different just because of what it does. So for this example, we're going to say L plus M plus N equals how much? 90 degrees. Okay? So that's what we're going to write for our example. Now, from here on out, okay, we're going to be using a PowerPoint to help us. Hopefully it's still here. We'll see. Okay. And then we're going to be going back and forth between diagrams on the PowerPoint and the diagram on your paper. Okay. So when I say look at the diagram on your paper, that means literally look at the diagram on your paper, and that's what I want you to be looking at and telling me the angles for. Okay. We have lots of them. So we're going to go through this PowerPoint together. Parallel lines cut by a transversal. Okay, here we have a set of parallel lines cut by a transversal. And when it does that, it forms 8 different angles. And we're going to inspect and investigate the different angles today. Okay? So here we go. First one, I want you guys to just pay attention. Don't write anything yet. It says angles 1 and 2 are supplementary angles. Okay? Do you see where, don't write anything yet. Do you see where angles 1 and 2 are? Okay? They make this line right here, this top parallel line. Okay? So, supplementary angles are, mark out the R. Do you guys see there in the bold? It says supplementary angles and it says R. Mark out the R. Okay, A-R-E. And we're going to say supplementary angles form a straight angle measuring 180 degrees. Okay, and it's on the television if you need to see it. They form a straight angle measuring 180 degrees. Okay, so 1 and 2 are supplementary angles. As part of this, you're going to need to tell me what my other supplementary pairs are. So if 1 and 2 are supplementary angles, what are my other supplementary pairs? Daniel?
5 and 6.
5 and 6. Alexis?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Do they form a straight line?
Oh, no.
Okay.
So 3 and 1.
2, 3, and 1 form a straight line. 2 and 3, they form a straight line, don't they? Yes, they form that transversal. Everybody agree with that?
Yep.
Okay. They have to make a line, and they should be right next to each other. Okay? So, the other side said 1 and 2. What did you say, Daniel? 5 and 6. Alexis said 3 and 8. Give me another one, Sydney.
6 and 7.
6 and 7. Taylor.
5 and 8.
5 and 8. Braden.
1 and
1 and 4. Ruben.
6 and 5.
6 and 5. We said that one. Daniel told us that one. Here.
7 and 8.
7 and 8. Did we get them all? I think there's one we're missing. Logan?
3 and 4.
3 and 4. I think that does them all. So we had one on the other page, 1 and 2, then 3 and 4, or sorry, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 1, 5 and 6, 6 and 7, 7 and 8, and 8 and 5. Okay, so now we've used the diagram on the television, right? Okay, so now we're going to draw a picture. Okay, for the rest of them, for your picture, you're going to have a set of parallel lines with the transversal, and then we're just going to draw where an example of where the angles would be, so where they would match and make that angle. Okay? So for supplementary angles, we would have a circle here and a circle here. Those two circles are supplementary angles. Everybody good with that? Okay? We could also have it going this way if I put a triangle here and a triangle here. Those two angles form that line of the transversal, correct? Everybody good with that? So this plus this equals 180. And this plus this equals 180. Okay? Alright, so now let's look at the diagram on your paper. Okay? And we're going to identify the supplementary angles on that, and those are going to be the examples we write down. So if you look at your paper, what are our supplementary angles? Jaden.
They form a straight angle measuring 180 degrees.
Yes, but what are our supplementary pairs based on our diagram?
1 and 2.
Angle 1 and angle 2. So here's what you're going to write on your paper for your examples. Angle 1 and angle 2. You have to write the angle marks. Okay, so you know what you're talking about. Okay, another one, Anna.
Angle 3 and angle 4.
Angle 3 and angle 4. You can also write your angle mark like this without the arc mark. Either one is fine. I don't care. Okay? Another one, Jordan.
1 and 3.
Angle 1 and angle 3. Another one, Donovan. Should look like one of these. And that picture's on your paper.
Angle 47 and angle 46.
Those are angles. So angle 4 and angle 6.
Oh. Yeah.
Or do they form a straight line?
6 and 7.
Angle 6 and angle 7. Brianna?
Angle 5 and angle 6.
Angle 5 and angle 6. Kylie?
Angle 8 and angle 7.
Angle 8 and angle 7. Nick?
Angle 2 and angle 4.
Angle 2 and angle 4. So that gives us 7. We have one more. Alyssa? Ashley?
Angle 5 and angle 8.
Angle 5 and angle 8. Okay? So we should have written all of those down for your examples for supplementary angles. Did everybody write them down? Okay, this is the only time that I am writing them. The rest of the time, you're going to have to listen and write your examples on your own. Do we understand that? Okay, so you're going to have to be ready and going. All right? So here we go. Back to the PowerPoint. We're going to go to our next one. Put your pencils down. Okay, look up there. It says angle 1 and angle 3 are called vertical angles. So if you look at where angle 1 and angle 3 are located, what can you tell me about their location to one another? What can you tell me about their location to one another? Emily? They're what? Vertical. Can you be a little bit more descriptive for me? Okay, they're across how? They're across from each other how? Diagonally across from each other. Okay, so on your paper, vertical angles are diagonally, we're going to spell it correctly, D-I-A-G-O-N-A-L-L-Y, across from each other. Okay, if you turned that paper, they would be verticals, right? Up and down. Everybody good? Okay, so look at the measures for angles 1 and angle 3. What can you guys tell me about angle 1, the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 3? What do you think? They're the same. So what's that word in geometry that we use for the same, everyone?
Congruent.
Congruent. Okay, so vertical angles are congruent. So on your paper, there's another line that says vertical angles are, but it's in italics. Do you guys see that? So that's where you put vertical angles are congruent. Please spell it correctly. It's on the television. Okay? So if 1 and 3 are vertical angles, what are my other vertical pairs? Other vertical pairs. Tierney.
Angle 2 and angle 4.
Angle 2 and angle 4. Angie. Angel. I want to call you Angie so bad.
Angle 6 and angle 8.
Angle 6 and angle 8. Clyde.
Angle 7 and angle 5.
Angle 7 and angle 5. Okay, and we already had 1 and 3, correct? Alright, so how many total vertical pairs are there?
4.
4. Okay, so now we're going to draw our picture. You guys ready? Okay, so I did a circle, I did a triangle, I'm going to do a star. Okay, so vertical pair right here and right here. Those are vertical angles. Okay, and then we're going to look at the diagram on your paper. Okay, we're going to look at the diagram on your paper, and we're going to identify the examples we're going to write down, because we write the examples from our paper so we can look back at our paper, right? All right, so what are our vertical pairs from our paper? Here,
Angle 1 and angle 4.
angle 1 and angle 4. Everybody should be writing that down. Olivia,
Angle 3 and
angle 3 and
angle 2.
angle 2. Allison,
Angle 5 and angle 7.
angle 5 and angle 7. Kaylee,
Angle 6 and angle 8.
angle 6 and angle 8. Is that all 4 of them? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any questions about vertical angles? So far, so good? Okay, so back to the PowerPoint. So we talked about vertical angles, now we're going to talk about corresponding angles. Pencils down. Okay, corresponding angles. Here's the deal with corresponding angles. You want to pay attention to where they're located. Angle 1 is corresponding to angle 5. Okay, do you see angle 1 is on the top of the top parallel line? And on the right side of the transversal. Everybody good with that? And then angle 5 is on the top of the bottom parallel line and on the right side of the transversal. Okay? 1 holds the same spot as 5, just on a different line. Everybody good with that? Okay, so corresponding angles. Okay, so now we're going to write corresponding angles. Mark out the word R. Corresponding angles occupy the same position on the top and bottom parallel lines. Corresponding angles occupy the same position on the top and bottom parallel lines. They occupy the same position on the top and bottom parallel lines. So if we look at angle 1 and angle 5, what can you tell me about those two angle measures? What could you tell me about those two angle measures, Josh? They're the same. What's the word we use? Congruent. So, corresponding angles, the italics, corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? It's important that you know which ones are congruent, which ones are supplementary, and which ones are complementary. Okay? That's one of the key things you have to know when we're doing this. Alright? So if 1 and 5 are our corresponding angles, what are our other corresponding pairs? Donovan?
2 and 6.
2 and 6. Jaden?
3 and 7.
3 and 7. Anna? The last slide said 1 and 5. Donovan, what did you say?
I said 2 and 6.
And Jaden, what did you say?
3, 7.
Okay, so what's the other one, Anna? Do they hold the same position on the top and bottom parallel line? Caitlin, can you help her out?
8 and 4.
8 and 4, 4 and 8. Do you see that they're both on the bottom and on the right? Everybody good with that?
She said 4 and 8.
I thought you said 1 and 8. Did you say 4 and 8?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally thought you said 1 and 8. Sorry, dear. Okay. So how many corresponding pairs are there? 4. Okay, so let's draw our picture. Okay, this time, did I do a star last time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a smiley face. All right. Once you've drawn it in, start to look at the diagram on your paper and determine what our examples should be. What are our corresponding angles? Alexis,
Angle 1 and 5.
angle 1 and angle 5. Matthew,
Angle 3 and angle 8.
angle 3 and angle 8. Taylor,
Angle 2 and angle 6.
angle 2 and angle 6. Hopefully we're writing these down. These are our examples. Clyde,
Angle 4 and angle 7.
angle 4 and angle 7. Okay? Then we're going to go back to the PowerPoint and onto the back of your paper. And we're gonna put our pencils down. Okay? We're all gonna look funny in just a second. Okay, what does the word interior mean? Inside, right? Okay, everybody make parallel lines with your arms. Okay. Interior means on the inside. So put your head on the inside. So when we're talking about interior angles, they have to be where your head is right now. Everybody understand that? Inside, in the middle. Everybody good? Okay? So, hands down. The alternate part means on opposite sides of the line. So look at where 4 is and where 6 is. Okay, here's angle 4, right here. It's on the inside on the right. And then here's angle 6 on the inside on the left. Everybody good with that? What do you notice about the angle measures of 4 and 6? 4 and 6, Elissa. What do we notice about the angle measures? Okay, but what do we notice about the angle measures? I don't think they're 90 degrees. Don't be so specific. Jordan? They're congruent. Okay, let's look at them. Do they look like they're the same? Okay, so all you have to do is say they're congruent. Okay, so alternate interior angles. Okay, I want you to pick up your pencil. Okay, down where it's in italics, alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay, that's the short one we have to write. Okay, and then at the top where it's bold, alternate interior angles are on the inside of the 2 parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. They're on the inside of the 2 parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay? And we already wrote they are congruent. All right? So, angle 4 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles. What are some other alternate interior angles based on the television diagram? Rihanna. 3 and 5. The last slide said 4 and 6. What are our other alternate interior pairs? Sierra?
1 and 7.
Okay, what does the word interior mean?
I'm just kidding.
Okay, just kidding. Okay, any other alternate interior pairs? No, so how many pairs of alternate? 2. Alternate interior, there's going to be 2. So for our picture, okay, I'm going to draw a heart right here, and I'm going to draw a heart right here. They have to be in the middle, guys. That's one of the things with interior. You got to make sure you're only using angles that are in the middle. All right? Okay? Then let's look at the diagram on your picture, or on your paper, sorry. On your picture. Okay, what are our alternate interior pairs on this page? Brayden,
43 and 46.
that's not a 4.
Oh, 3 and 6.
Angle 3 and angle 6, very good. Okay, Ashley,
Angle 4 and angle 5.
angle 4 and angle 5. There are only 2 of them, right? Angle 3 and angle 6, angle 4 and angle 5. Okay? Alright, so our next one is alternate exterior angles. What do you think the difference is between alternate interior angles and alternate exterior exterior angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles. Katie?
External angles are on the outside.
Exterior angles are on the outside and interior angles are on the what, everybody? Inside. So the description is going to be the same, except for instead of writing the word inside, we're going to write outside. So same description, we're just going to replace inside with outside. Inside with outside. They're on the outside of the two parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay? So now, looking at the diagram on the TV, what are our alternate exterior pairs? Our alternate exterior pairs, Sydney,
1 and 7.
1 and 7. Allison, 2 and 8. Other alternate exterior pairs? No. So how many do we have? 2. So our picture, I'm going to do it like this. Infinity symbol this time. Okay.
You should get a pie symbol after this.
We don't have any more. Okay. So then look at the diagram on your paper or on the television. I put it up there too. What are our alternate exterior pairs? Brianna.
2 and 8.
Angle 2 and angle 8. Olivia.
Angle 1 and angle 7.
Angle 1 and angle 7. Any more alternate exteriors?
No.
No. Okay, so you're going to use this information and work through some problems. And I'm going to lead you guys through them and show you my thinking as I go through them. Okay, so here's the picture. You guys can just follow along, okay? And the question says, at the bottom it says, the measure for angle 1 is 60 degrees. What is the measure of angle 2? The first thing you need to know is what type of angles 1 and 2 are. So look at your notes. What type of angles are angles 1 and angle 2? The bell's probably going to ring. We're just going to get through this one real quick. What type of angles are 1 and 2? Caitlin.
So, what, that one word?
Supplementary.
Yeah, that one.
Say it.
I can't say it.
Supplementary.
Supplementary?
Yes.
Right.
Kind of like elementary, but supplementary. Okay? What do we know about supplementary angles? What do we know about supplementary angles? Emily?
They add up
They add up
to 90 degrees.
to what?
No, they make one straight and the other 180.
So they add up to be how much?
180.
180. So if we know angle 1 is 60, what are we going to do to figure out angle 2, Daniel?
Take 180 minus 60.
180 minus 60. And what is our answer going to be, Sydney? What's 80 minus 60?
120.
There you go. Good job. Okay, so here we're going to do another one. Measure for angle 1 is 60 degrees. What is the measure for angle 5? So the first thing you need to do is figure out what type of angles 1 and 5 are. What type of angles are 1 and 5? What type of angles are 1 and 5? 1 and 5. Taylor, 1 and 5.
Is it corresponding?
Corresponding angles. And what do we know about corresponding angles other than, we're going to finish, they occupy the same position on the top and bottom parallel line. What do we know about them, Anna? They're congruent. So if angle 1 is 60 degrees, what is the measure for angle 5, everybody?
60 degrees.
Enjoy your lunch.